My second and last video, because yesterday I already posted 15 video in the account My Eyes Online. To the old people in this world, in the cabinet, the ones, the ghosts, people we never see till the day you die. How big is your graveyard? I'm sure they already buy you the finest graveyard and finest coffin where they have to put your body. The saddest part is, 9 months before they create you, no one look for the graveyard where they have to bury you 100 years later. When your mother and father was making love to create you, there was no plan for graveyard. If someone have to tell them to say, while you're pregnant, we have to buy a graveyard for your children later on, I think she would be so pissed off. You know what's not fair in this world? If even you try to create another human being and try to teach them everything you know, I mean, it's like you know you're gonna die and you find someone to build you a baby body and you try to teach that child everything you know and they become so smart like you watch them growing up, you know their mind is exactly like yours. But it's very unfair because you know, no matter how you program everything in there, they will never be you because you have your own conscious mind. Please tell me, 500 years ago, where was you? If you think when you build another boy and you feed everything in the mind of the boy know everything what you know, and you think it's still not you, what makes you? What's so different between you and the boy? I know the face may be different. Maybe, just maybe, if they have to reverse your mother and father, if even your mother and father try to have 6 boys, the faces will never look the same. Except if they make you double in the stomach. Sometimes when I check, even twins, most of them don't look like. Because there's one thing people always forget. Before you see a woman standing, it takes 7 to make her stand. 7. There will never be somebody standing without the number 7. First of all, there is always your mother. You get like, that's my mother. But you forget the mother and the father that have sex to make your mother. When you watch your mother, don't forget the father and the mother that makes your mother. She is number 3. She, her mother, and her father. And when you look at your father, don't forget his mother and father. So, your grandfather here, your grandfather there, your grandmother here, your grandmother here, and mama, papa, number 6. Then you become the number 7 child. So the faces will never look the same. Better yet, when you check in for Opa and Oma and Grandpa, check for the father and mother for Grandpa, and the father and mother for Grandma, and the other father and mother for the other Grandpa, and the father, until you stop watching with the blind eyes. What you get, you only see one person, but you don't see the 6 behind it. They only say to you, grandmother, grandfather, grandmother, grandfather. But you don't see they make them in order for you to get the face that you have. When your mother was the child, you wasn't there. You live somewhere else with another face. But when you grow up in this world, you go to school, you have no problem to understand the school book. It's the mind of somebody who dead. I mean, being in somebody and transfer all your thoughts inside of it, that's something else. But when you have somebody who is dead and write a book, and any child that is created in any bedroom, collect them all and make all their mind become just one. I mean, that's powerful, right? If you can make one person become you, how can you make the whole world become you? The school book is not coming from God. It is coming from somebody who live in this world and die and live on the ground. The saddest part is, the school book. I like to go to the school and take the school books out of the classroom. And I like to have a baby today and put the baby next to the school books and give the baby the food the baby needs, and just leave the book in there to teach the child. Can the book teach the child anything? If you believe the one who writes the book is already dead, who is the teacher? Who become the teacher? How does the teacher able to translate the mind of the book inside of the other little baby? If you think when you're gonna be dead and you transfer everything you know in your mind inside the new baby that came out, and you think when you go 6 feet, you're really in a graveyard, and the one that you program everything inside their mind, they are not you. Please tell me, when a teacher become a teacher, who are they? Is it not the voice inside the book become them? You know, I say many times, when you stand in the mirror and you focus on your face, you can't see your mother next to you. You can't see your father next to you. You can't see your grandmother and your grandpa next to you, and the grandmother and grandpa on the other side next to you. You only can see you alone. If the body was built before you came to drive it, but only you sit inside the body, you don't drive, someone else is driving you. You know, I like to write a book today, and I know I'm gonna be dead very soon. And I pass a law, any new child that is born in this world has to go to school and read my book. And if they can read everything in the book, and then I know they become me, they think like me, but they were never able to write a book for anybody else. if the one who creates the book have the mind to create the book? If you came in this world, the only thing you came to do is to read the book from the one who already dead. What about your own book? Do you have a book? What is your life in this one? What is the meaning of this life for you? If everything you have is a copy from the man who's already dead 500 years ago, why are you afraid to be dead anyway? What's the difference? When you was baby, you go to school. When someone has become a child 30 years later, they go to school. What's the difference between you and them? If the teachers will always be there to feed your mind, and the jobs will always be there, and a wife will always be there, the bank account will always be there, how can you be afraid to be dead when you're just a fantasy? The saddest part is most of you want to play God above the others. And then you become so powerful, you don't want to die. You know what's scary about it for you? It's because you believe you are real over there. You believe you're separate from the rest of the people. But if you only stand in front of the mirror and see yourself for what you are, and understand you're just one age with the rest of the world, and if you only can see your brain on the inside, the CD player that is downloading everything, and the webcam eyes that you have, and every time you try to think, you can play back things inside your mind. If you only can see the difference between the tape recording in your brain and your eyes, that is the webcam, if you understand in 24 hours a day, you can turn it off and turn it on. And just because of the CD that you have downloaded so much bullshit, I mean, you're growing up, they're showing you the war of Hitler. It stays in your mind. I feel sorry for you in the system, because I'm here. I'm not dead yet. If I go out of this body, it doesn't mean because my body doesn't speak, it doesn't mean my voice is dead. The body is my home, but the body is not me. I use the body to walk around. I use the body to be visible. But when you always find people, 1 hour ago they were talking, 1 hour later they're not talking, but you're really thinking they are the one who is talking all along. It's sad that you cannot find them when they're 1 year old, 2 years old, 3 years old, 5 years old, and try to find all those voices. Like I say, you may believe in your fantasy world, but everything what you have today will be played back the next 100 years. And the new face, what you're gonna get, it is still inside of the people. 9 months before you're dead, there will be a new face built for you in the dark stomach. And when the face is ready, the face come out. In 60 seconds, the baby wind inside of you will go back in that baby with a new fresh CD in your mind. to go through the shit you already left here.